Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. Boy, there's a lot of changes this year. There are a lot of changes that I wanna bring out today to just, I guess, mention. Some of you are aware of a lot of them, but number one, the St. Lawrence River this year has been higher than it's been in other years on average. And believe me, I check the level. I don't mean I got a graph and I go out there with it, but there's certain places that I look, places that either stick out of the water or don't, depending on how deep the water is. And it has been deeper than in years past. And that's going to make changes. The fish are going to respond to that. You're going to have weeds growing in areas that they didn't grow before. You're going to have current that has a faster aspect than when the water's lower. All these things make a difference in determining where the fish go, and maybe even more importantly, where the bait goes, because all our sport fish follow the bait. They need to eat, and they're following the bait. This is one of the major changes that I've seen this year. The other thing is, and you got to be aware of this too, is that we've got climate changes, climate differences just from last year to this year. And this happens every year. But those changes can make a huge difference in the inland waters. Now, the Grass River is one of my favorites because I can wade it. And I love to wade fish, and I've talked about this so many times. But as I go out and wade right now, compared to the same day and time a year ago, there's big changes in the river. The pools that were full of fish a year ago might not be full of fish today, and they're not. Where I went last year and caught fish after fish, I'm not catching them this year. It's not that the fish are gone. They've got different habits this year because the temperature, the water level is much higher on average in our tributaries than it was, and all these things cause changes. The other thing that I see happening each year is there seems to be, and this might all be in my head, but I'll tell you, it makes a difference in my fishing. There seems to be different preferences of color, color changes, color variations. A color that worked fantastically for me a year ago isn't working as well this year. And I found other colors this year that I didn't do as well last year. Is it just that I'm subject to habit changes and I convince myself different things? I don't think so. I think all these other changes all work together with the internal changes, and even little things as different as the size of the baits we use, the colors that we choose, the time of day when the fish are the most. There's so many subtle changes. But I really see a lot of these changes this year. Doesn't discourage me. It just challenges me to come up with new solutions, maybe discover new baits, new pockets of water. Here's another thing that really I find fascinating. A week ago, and the water level's about the same where I'm going in the Grass River. A week ago, I found groups of fish in certain pockets, in certain pools. The pools look exactly the same this week, but those fish have shifted. They found another spot to all gather in. Whatever the reason, I'm not sure the reason, other than the water temperature is always going to be rising. You know, as it gets closer to summer, it's going to keep going up, and that could be the changes. But I guess the moral of this whole show, of this whole segment this week, is that everything does change. And we can't expect it to stay the same. And if we embrace these changes, we'll continue to have fun. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.